Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Thoughtful Thursday. I am your host, JackCRandall. Each week, I strive to bring you new practical tips, tools, and insights to help you pursue your calling with a passion to find new joy, fulfillment, and meaning in life. Today, I want to give you a quote by that fellow by the name of Frederick Buechner. Frederick Buechner, he says, "The place God calls you to is the place where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet." He uses the word deep twice, so it must be a deep subject. But it really applies to what I want to talk to you about today. He says the place God calls you to is the place where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger meet. I couldn't agree more. That's why I'm so excited about today's topic, because today we're going to talk about how might you know if you're being called. In other words, what are the symptoms? And it kind of gets back to what Frederick talked about here. It's deep inside of you, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. I'm going to give you my 2 cents. It's how I've pursued my calling, how I've known, and how others have known it. If I were to ask you, I should say, how do you know you found true love in life? And you'd say, well, I just knew what I knew. I found my true love there. Words can't really describe how you felt when you knew. Same thing a lot of times with your calling. Sometimes it's hard to articulate. So I just took some liberty. I hope I'm going to ask your forgiveness, because I'm actually going to read a few of the phrases that I've put down and jotted down over time. And I would challenge you, grab a cup of coffee, sit down, and see if some of these phrases, some of these articulations describe what you're feeling, because maybe you're being called too. Before I begin, I also want to say that your calling probably comes from a combination of 4 places deep down inside of you. Would be your head, your heart, your soul, and your gut. And I can't really describe, because they all work together, but it's down deep, and I'm sure you would agree with that too. A lot of others do. So with that, let me launch off into, and again, I'm just gonna read today some of the things that I jot down. So bear with me as I read these off. You may want to actually stop the tape, back it up, and see if these apply to you, and see if these resonate with what you're feeling, because it might be an indication of your calling as well. First thing I wrote down is a feeling of just knowing what you know about why you're here and what you're supposed to do. It's kind of like finding your true love. You just know what you know, and it's difficult to describe. So it's that feeling of knowing. Number 2, a gnawing feeling that you just have to make a difference in some specific area. It resonates with you, a gnawing feeling. Or it could be number 3, an aching feeling in your soul about doing something, that aching feeling. Do you have that? Could be number 4, feeling a rush of adrenaline when you think about doing that particular something, that's something you're called to. Number 5 could be described as a burden in your heart. A lot of people have described it that way. Or number 6, a passionate longing to do something. It's that passion. You just know that it's there. You can't describe it. Could be number 7, a joy in doing something you never get tired of. Something you never get tired of. And it kind of ties in with number 8, a feeling of good tired when you do it. Versus a bad tired. In other words, it just wears you out. This would be a good tired. You feel tired, but you feel fulfilled at the same time. Could be number 9, a feeling being drawn to something. Some people describe it that way, a calling. Or a calling could be a passion toward a cause that needs to be championed. It's just inside of you, and somebody's got to pick it up, and it needs to be you. Could be number 11, an exciting attraction, yet commonly coupled with fear. You're excited about whatever it is, but you're also scared at the same time. That's probably a good indication that you're being called. Could be number 12, a feeling of relief or fulfillment when you're doing it. It just feels good whenever you're doing it or reaching out to it. Could be number 13, an internal knowledge of the most important thing you want to do before you die. And a lot of people, especially at midlife or in retirement years, are saying, is this all? Is there something else I should have been doing? That could be that internal knowledge that I'm talking about there. Could be number 14, a small voice inside of you that seems to be calling out. It's just a small voice. Jack or whoever you are, you need to be doing this. It's that small voice inside of you. Or lastly, it could be a void that needs to be filled with something you can offer, or only you can offer, all the while you know it's bigger than you are, and that scares you. That may be an indication too that we're called to something. A lot of times we're called to something that's bigger than we are, and that prevents a lot of people from pursuing it. Well, I want to challenge you. Don't let that hold you back. It's not a barrier to be concerned about. You're totally normal. So how about you? Do you find yourself feeling those feelings that I talked about, or thinking those thoughts, or something similar to those? If you are, you're probably being called. If those thoughts and feelings take you back to your current vocation, step on the gas. I want to just encourage you. If not, you may be called to something else. So really try and give yourself some time to think about separating those thoughts. If you're where you need to be, just go for it. If you've never thought about your calling at all, should you worry about it? And I would say an emphatic no, don't worry about it. I just challenge you to think about it. What's the most important thing you need to do or accomplish before you die? There's more to life than just living paycheck to paycheck. That's it for this week. See everybody. Remember, the best is yet to come.